I was so glad that you found a way to love the marketing versus despise the marketing.
I love it. Now I go into listings and I'm like, what is the, how does this inspire me? What video should I do with this?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, obviously I'm going to help you price your house and help you get your house ready. But it's like this one that's, we had for sale, the little mobile home with, it's yellow, and my daughter helped me stage it, and my assistant helped also. But I was like, what should we do for this? So then it's the conversation now, bringing my family in, and my daughter's like, what about a bee theme? And so it's just like bringing everybody together with like allowing these creative releases, which is just so satisfying. I love the creativity of it. It makes me like it makes me so happy.
What's up, y'all? Coming at you with another episode of the Carrot Cast, and I've got an awesome guest on today. Introduce you to Shemeika here in a second. But guys, one of the topics that we talk about quite a bit in a lot of my other podcasts or training videos is how do you stand out? You know, we're in a competitive market, both for investors and agents, and I've been really banging this drum a ton, y'all, that we're in the middle. You know, we're in the start, but in the middle of this industry shift. And the industry shift, we're at the top of the real estate market or close to, or in some spots over it. But I think everyone would argue we're not in the middle of it right now. We're not at the bottom of it. We're somewhere towards the top. And then also there's all the technology that's changing, where your iBuyers are coming in, but also tons of other services are putting things out there that are trying to compress the commission of agents, that are bringing commission down by trying to automate out certain parts and give you a cut rate commission. Now, how do you as an agent or an agent investor make sure you're not just competing in this market, but thriving and standing out? Well, as we dug in on one of our recent 30-day challenges, we were looking at some of the progress a lot of our agents were making in that last 30-day challenge. And our guest today, Shemeika Fox, really stood out because a lot of the homework items, as I was going through there, that we were giving her, she already had done. She went through the concierge program, but a lot of them, like your about video and mission and all the stuff she'd already done. And the deeper that we dove in there and looked at the video work she's doing, we're going, we've got to call this out, because the way that she's doing it and the way that she's winning in her market and in her business is so cool that we want to point out so all of you guys can do the same thing. So welcome on the Carrot Cast, Shemeika.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
So let's give people a little bit of context. Who are you? Where do you live and work? And how long have you been doing this real estate agent thing?
I live in Santa Cruz. I'm Shemeika Fox. I've been in real estate since 2004. So this is my 15th year. And this last year, 2019, was my best year. But not only was it my best year, I was the happiest I've ever been in my career.
So that part, I want to touch on that first, because all the agents and investors on here are probably listening to it going, okay, cool. So I want to learn how to grow my business. But guys, I talk about it a lot that in my previous companies, I had built things that I ended up despising and not really enjoying the work I was doing. And so I pulled back and said, how do I build a business that gives me freedom, that gives me flexibility, that helps me grow my finances, but helps me make an impact? And we set core values. And one of the first one at the top is fun. So I want to unpack that, Shemeika. So before 2019, what was your business like that was not as enjoyable as it was this last year? And what did you change going into 2019?
Before 2019, it was a lot of chasing leads and having leads kind of fizzle out, and like just kind of waiting for motivated clients to come to me and say, I'm ready right now, but not having structures in place and not having the structure, I guess, behind it to keep motivated leads coming in, but like also my client avatar leads coming in. Last year, I think the 2019 I mentioned was my best year, and also I was the most fulfilled. All of my clients last year and I were a perfect match. Like I loved every single one of them. Not that I don't love all of my previous clients as well, but it felt like last year was more like specific to where I'm at in business and my personality. And there was just this beautiful like match made.
And that's such a big deal, because I've experienced that too on both sides of it, where same thing in my previous companies. I mean, it wasn't that I disliked the client. it was, and we had a good product. It was just that the mesh wasn't there. It
Yeah.
probably wasn't the person that I'd be hanging out with, grabbing a beer with every day, and then same thing, kind of made the intention, who are the exact people I can best help. It's not really who do I like. And it was like, who can I best help? And what type of work would I enjoy? So one thing I discovered, I want to toss this question your way, is it was my marketing, the way that I was doing my marketing is that what influenced a lot of that. So what did your marketing look like before 2018 versus what does your marketing look like in 2019 and now 2020?
It was very generic. Previously, I had, my website, which was really just a place where I could say like, oh, go check out my website for, an IDX search, or, very simple information that any and every agent probably has. Also, open houses where you have a couple minutes to impress somebody or not. And, referrals, always referrals have always been my favorite because they come in already warm. And so you have that immediate connection usually.
Yep.
And then 2019 and going forward, I personalized everything. So now my website is filled with content that is promoting my community. It's promoting local businesses. It's promoting things that I believe in. It's promoting our intention to give back to our community and beyond. And it is showing my personality and it's showing my mission, and people are getting to know me in a way before they necessarily decide to hire me that they weren't before. So now when they're coming in, they already are like, I know her, I like what she's about, I want to work with her.
And guys, this is so critical. And I want you guys to go back and listen to what Shemeika said. There was a clear shift in the way that she was doing her marketing. And so many people, so many agents, so many investors, they don't predict and connect the correlation of the way you do your marketing with the way that your business ends up serving you or not serving you. And I've got it drawn somewhere. It's over here. I won't bring it, but I've got this thing that I talk about of the hamster wheel marketing versus evergreen marketing with stacking bricks. And hamster wheel marketing is you're just cranking stuff out, cranking tons of posts out. But the second you stop cranking tons of posts out, it slows down and stops having a result. Or you're going to open houses, but the second, and they work, like keep doing them. But the second you stop going to open houses, then all of a sudden that business trickles down. You don't get those leads. You got to go to open houses again. And the problem with it is our marketing it is the thing that can either free us in our business or it can be the thing that traps us. And if we have inconsistent lead flow, then we are going to have a business that traps us because you're always stressed every month to know where my business is going to come from the next month. When you stack bricks with content and you build authority and trust that we're going to talk about with here in a second, then that starts to get more consistent. You have more flexibility. So we'll dive into what type of content you're creating, where you're putting it, things like that. But one thing I want to point out, Shemeika, is you talked about you're doing content on your community. You're doing content on things that you're passionate about. Before you're doing generic stuff that probably all the other real estate coaches and stuff are saying to do. What type of content fires you up the most right now, and what's working the best for you right now to bring in clients that are attracted to you?
Well, I think like you, I am very attracted to entrepreneurs. I love people that have a vision and have a mission and they just go for it. And so I started a Facebook group, and it's a women's networking and Santa Cruz business group, which anybody's allowed to join, but that's so far how it's started, and it seems to be going really well. So we have a meet and greet once a month, and it's co-hosted by somebody other than me and with me. And it is specifically to promote that person's business, but also to give value to the people who attend the meeting. So the first meeting that we did was with a local attorney, Roxanne Olson, and she did a whole presentation. We took a vote. Do you guys want to do, business law, or do you want to do wills and trusts? And everybody voted for wills and trusts. So she did, a 30-minute seminar for free to teach us about wills and trusts. And then at the end, she offered everybody who was there, if they signed up, a discounted rate for her services to create these wills and trusts, which is an amazing value. So people wanted to come, they wanted to attend. But at that same time, I have a videographer on payroll for my company, and every single meet and greet that we do with the women's group, I have him do a promo video with me interviewing the person and highlighting their business. So now they have received also something of value from me for giving back to our community. And in turn, it obviously promotes me because I'm in the video, but he makes these beautiful videos and they get them and it's free of charge to them. And that's been amazing. That's been really fun. I love supporting entrepreneurs and local businesses, and that's our community.
And so one thing I want people to pick up here is she didn't say I'm promoting how I can sell a house quicker, or I'm promoting that I can show you a bunch of houses. Obviously she does have that in her marketing, but the marketing that's pumping her up is the community-based stuff. It's the stuff where I can go out there and I live here, and how can I make it a better place? And if I do so, then people are going to be attracted to me. And, I'm an authority in real estate. They're likely going to work with me. What type of business results have you seen from those activities there? Are you getting consistent listings? Is it buyers?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. I get, so I forgot to mention in the beginning part is that I did hire an assistant, and she was supposed to be a part-time assistant and started as a part-time assistant. And every time she was leaving the office, we were like, oh my gosh, we have so many other projects for you to do. And so she's now, for the last 6 months, been a full-time assistant. So that's huge because that frees me up to do what I like to do, which is being with my clients. People. I'm a high ER on the DISC analysis, which is sad, grumpy, or whatever. And she's my exact opposite. And so the thing that kind of had me held back previously is marketing is a full-time job.
Yep.
And selling real estate is a full-time job. So I would have deals. I would be in the middle of escrows. I would close those deals, and then I would have to remarket everything again. So now she does the marketing for me, and she's learning on the Carrot site. She's been doing fabulously. She's been doing a bunch of local content video posts for me. With me, obviously, in the videos, and then having you guys transcribe, which, by the way, your website is amazing. And I do hire you guys for everything that I need because that's not our job. Like, if I can, I will. Like the citation stuff. I obviously use the concierge service because I don't build websites. Last time I talked to Lisa, I was like trying to do the 30-day challenge. And I'm like, I broke it. Here, fix it. And she's like, just don't do it. It's already set up. Stop messing with it. But
that's fine.
Now I forgot what the question was.
I don't remember what it was either. We were going in a good direction though. I think, it was about results. It was about results you're getting in that type of stuff. So I guess this will help paint a picture too. What's the size of your team? Just so people know, what's the size of your team now? Because if people look at this and go, oh, Shemeika's doing one deal a year. Well, what versus, oh, she's doing X. What's the size of your team? And share whatever you're willing to share about the volume of your business right now.
Previously, so it's me, and as of 6 months ago, my assistant full-time. Previously, my goal was to do 12 deals a year, which is one deal a month, and Santa Cruz home prices are expensive, and I would usually average between 12 and 15 a year. But I felt like I could do more. I felt like I could handle more. It was just a matter of getting the clientele to come to me and utilize my services. And so then I ramped it up. I was like, I think I could double my business. So last year, my goal was 24, and I closed 24 and a half. So
nice work.
My goal, and the momentum is huge. Like it just the holidays were here and have passed, and like the first week of the new year, I think I received like 3 or 4 referrals from past clients in my community because they can't forget me. Like I'm everywhere. If you Google, Bayview School, which my daughter goes to, and so we did a segment on the carnival fundraiser. Like I come up. If you Google local, one of our favorite local restaurants, I come up because I'm producing the content and so I'm not just like, here's this fabulous house, which I, again, like you said, have access to, and list houses and help buyers buy houses, but I'm the community expert, and I'm like passionate about it, and I love it.
So here's one thing I talk about a lot, Shemeika, and you saw it in the 30-day challenge, where I talk about authority. And I think a lot of agents are tacticians. They know the mechanics of the things. Some of them become experts, or many become experts in what they do. but they're going to struggle through this next period of time with the shifts I talked about before in the industry, with the competition, with the technology changes, all that, and even the market as it changes, as time on market starts to extend. You always see some of those agents start to get kind of pushed out. The person who got their license a year ago, but they've got a full-time job and they're doing 2, 3, 4, 5 deals a year. Those are going to get harder for many of those. So authority is so important, because the only difference between authority and an expert is an authority is an expert that a lot of people know is an authority. And one thing, as you were talking, I kind of pulled out was, okay, where is she becoming an authority, and what is she choosing to become an authority in niche wise? And one of them was entrepreneurs. So you started the group. And so I want people to make this connection in their mind, is it doesn't just have to be property types. It doesn't have to be neighborhoods. Those are types of niches you can go into, but also you can go into what types of clients you want to work with.
Yeah.
And so entrepreneurs, then you pull that back and go, awesome. What types of content or things would they be interested in that I could put content out for, or that I could create, like you created that group? And so if you guys get into the minds of that niche or that group, then just pull back and say, I love working with these people, or I love working with these types of homes or properties. What types of things would they be really interested in that I could add value to their life in? And then by them knowing me, then I can introduce them to the real estate side of what I do. What else do you do? Do you have any other niches that you focus in on there in the Santa Cruz market?
Well, I live on the west side. I have since I moved here in 1999. And I've always said it's the easiest sale for me because I love it so much. But it's not even, again, it's not a sale. It's just that I love it so much. And so I promote all the things that are wonderful about it, like West Cliff Drive, Steamer's Lane for surfing, local wineries, local coffee shops, local restaurants, the community of people here, the schools here, like everything is just so natural because I've been immersed in it for so long, and I love it so much that it's just like easy to promote. So I think that's my recently realized niche without like, I'm like, trying to be all creative with it when going through the 30-day challenge. I'm like, nope, that's it.
Yep.
I guess I could get more specific. It'd be like Ocean View on the west side, or
I mean, you could, but I mean, and that's where there's time, like we talked about in the challenge, where kind of start with your higher level niches, and then as you get those built out with content, then you can go deeper. So you can go deeper to the ocean front, and you can do this and do that. Let's kind of break apart the marketing strategy now. So, like you mentioned, you moved over to Carrot. And was it like a broker provided website before? Is that what you were using, or what was the other website?
They had a broker provided website, and then they switched to something new. And at that time was when I joined Krista's coaching program, and I had read her sell 100 homes a year, 100 plus homes a year. And I mean, that's just like a super clear system, like broken down, and all the tools and resources that she uses. And so I started researching you guys, and I think I was on the phone with Pete. Is Pete a salesperson for you? Pete, with like a Greek last name.
Oh yeah, Zentakos. Pete
Thank
Zentakos.
You. And I had my husband is also obviously an entrepreneur and in business for himself, and so we have really boring dinner conversations according to our daughter, but we like it. And so I like had him on speakerphone while I was talking to Pete, and Pete was breaking down like, okay, this level of service, or the concierge package. And I think it was like 30 seconds in where I'm like, can I put you on hold for just 1 second? And I like hit hold. I'm like, do I need to even go any further? He's like, my husband's like, do you build websites? And I was like, no. He's like, do they? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, get the concierge package, let them build your website, and be done. And I was like, okay, fabulous. And your team, by the way, was amazing. Lisa was like on it. She'd send me prototypes and suggestions and samples of what they were doing. And I would be like, change this, alter this. I love this. Let's do more of that. So working with you guys was a dream.
Awesome.
And
Thank
she
you.
continues to be a huge resource for me because I did the 30-day challenge, and I gladly would like to say that I just finished this morning.
Good.
It was more like nice a 60-day challenge, but it's done. And I would be like, okay, I just learned this, and how do I build these citations? And she's like, here, just $200, and they'll do it for you. I'm like, great, fabulous, let's do that.
Cool.
So I feel like utilizing resources such as people who are experts in their own field is a tremendous asset to growing a real estate business. And then you do what you do. The beauty of real estate is that there's so many different facets and anybody can do it technically. Just pick that thing that you're passionate about and then hire people to do the rest.
I love it. So if you don't mind, I'm going to pull up your website here in a second, because what I want to do is I want to show people the type of content that you're creating and visually how you're standing out. So if you guys can see my screen now, I'm showing Shemeika's website, that your Santa Cruz Real Estate.com. Of course, she's got her credibility badges up here, great Santa Cruz image, a great logo that stands out. It doesn't look like the normal real estate agency logo that's got some sort of like a house or a key or something on it. I love how you tied in your last name. But what I want to point out is this right here. Some of your videos, the Freaky Friday one, that one was really cool. It was awesome. So let's kind of break this one down. I'm going to click this listing here. This is built on our Carrot system with what we call a featured property listing. So you can either use MLS, IDX in here for those. It just pulls it out of the MLS, or for your ones you want to put more attention to, create a featured property listing. So people can go here and check.
My co-star Pearl was she's the daughter's owner, or the owner's daughter of the house that we were selling. So
I loved this thing. So
we got to bring more community in, and it made her so happy to be able to be on YouTube.
This is so awesome, Shemeika. So guys, we'll link up this page in the show notes. Would you mind if I linked up this page in the show notes so people can see an example? Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll link this up, guys. Go watch the video. And what I want you guys to do is, when you're watching the video, and we'll kind of break something down here in a second, is I want you to not look at it as, oh my gosh, she has an awesome videographer, how am I going to ever do this? What I want you guys to do is see a great example of feeling the essence of what she's doing and what she's delivering to the viewer. And then you can pull back and go, okay, if I want to have this level of experience, this level of connection with my prospects, now how do I get the same resources and create the same plan to do so? But break down this one here. What did you do with this video? How did you come up with the idea? And what was the result for the house sale?
So we were actually talking about, so I had the pleasure and honor of representing my clients who sold 311 Young Love in the sale and purchase of a new home. And so we were writing an offer, and I said, if you could write a letter to the owners about who you are and why you love their home so that we could personalize it a little bit, that would be amazing. And my client mentioned, jokingly, it wouldn't be beyond me to pimp Pearl out for the benefit of getting a new home. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But I stuck it in the back of my head. It wasn't like, okay, I have this fabulous idea, let's do this. And it took a little bit of time to get their house ready. We, repainted, had a bunch of contractors in there doing work, and they were moving out. They listened to every suggestion I made, which is, if you don't mind moving out, we could stage it. It could be easy to show, and it'll sell for more and it'll sell faster. So I had some time to actually think about it. And I was like, maybe we could be playing at the park, and then we could ride our bikes over and be like, oh, look, there's an open house. And then we're like, how do we get into the house? And then I don't know. I can't remember. I think it was just like one of those I can't sleep tonight excited moments where I'm really rearing to go and my creative juices are flowing. And I was like, Freaky Friday, that would be rad. Pearl could be me. I could be Pearl. It would be amazing. And so I ran it all by the owner, and she was super excited, and her daughter was super excited. And it just kind of came together. And I want to say there's over 600 views on this video on just YouTube. That's not the Facebook ads that I have running. There's over 2,000 on that.
609 as of today.
Yeah, 609.
Love it.
We ended up with 4 offers, and this was over the holidays in Santa Cruz, where everybody talks about the slow down time of the market. I'm always busy over the holidays for some reason, but this was the slow down time of the market. We ended up with 4 offers. We were listed at $989. The highest offer and the offer that we accepted and closed at was $1,051,000. So I need a calculator to do the math. But my sellers were happy. I was happy, and Pearl was elated to be on YouTube.
That is cool. So this is going to show my living in small town Oregon. Glance this. What you could buy for $1 million here is way different than in Santa Cruz, which is amazing. So this right here, guys, I want to point this out. Like I said, if you're listening to this on the podcast, go to carrotcast.com and find this episode with Shemeika Fox and click the show notes, because we're going to link up this particular video, and we're showing it on the screen right now, or go to our YouTube. And so this right here is unique content, because a lot of videos that I'll see agents do, not a knock against them, it's just they all start to look the same now. You know, yeah. It's the little video that's an automated pictures of all the rooms, and it's like got this fancy music playing over it and stuff like that. And I'm like, if you're wanting to stand out, you've got to do stuff that others aren't doing. You've got to do stuff that does stand out. And while this did take a little bit more work, it had an inverse, result, where it's like a lot more work, but also a bigger result, versus a little bit of work and a little result. I'd much rather do a hunk more work and get a much more outsized result, which you did.
Well, and this is my newfound passion. Like my husband always jokes, like he and our daughter are the artists in the family. Like, what do? I just sell real estate. But like, this is my new niche is these creative listing presentation videos.
I love it.
And the objective is obviously to get a buyer to watch it. So you have to be entertaining, because I think right now people have an attention span of 6 seconds. So we want to engage them, entertain them, delight them. And then they're like, we like that house, we want to come and see it. But it's also like agents watch this stuff too. They're like, we had to see what you were doing for this house, which drives agents in. And agents also have clients that are looking to buy. So it just like the moment, again, it's the momentum that perpetuates more and more real estate success, I guess, and just success in general.
And also, if you're listening to this and you're a broker, or guys, if you're a real estate investor listening to this, it doesn't matter. Video and doing things that help you stand out is going to help you win bigger in the market. And also not just win bigger, guys. Like Shemeika is saying, and I can attest to it, some of my best energy days, like Thursday is my content day. And so I get a chance to do, this is my 4th podcast today, and I love it.
Woo!
And so, and I've got one more after this. And the reason for it is it's an energy day. And if I didn't have my content day, there's a lot of work. I love my job and I love my team, but there's a lot of work that's kind of not work that I love that I've still got to do until I get it delegated. Yeah. And these help give me that, which I was so glad that you found a way to love the marketing versus despise the marketing.
I love
that you
it.
had done before.
I love it. Now I go into listings and I'm like, what is the, how does this inspire me? What video should I do with this? It's like, obviously I'm going to help you price your house and help you get your house ready. But it's like this one that's, we had for sale, the little mobile home with, it's yellow, and my daughter helped me stage it, and my assistant helped also. But I was like, what should we do for this? So then it's the conversation now, bringing my family in, and my daughter's like, what about a bee theme? And so it's just like bringing everybody together with like allowing these creative releases, which is just so satisfying. I love the creativity of it. It makes me like it makes me so happy.
I love it. So guys, same thing. I'm showing another one visually. If you're listening to this on the podcast, go to carrotcast.com, find this episode with Shemeika. And what she did was she took this listing here, threw some great pictures of it at the top. She put her own intro there, and then she threw a video post in there. So the video yanked in from YouTube, and then the transcription gets put below there to add more content. So
can we pay you to do the transcription? Thank you.
Yeah. So have you, one thing I want to dive in and look at some of this stuff here. So selling Santa Cruz real estate creatively. So that's a video you've got there. What are you doing? Okay, so that's a shorter video. And I mentioned this on Krista's training this last week. Keep doing what you're doing there, right? Just the longer ones, the 3 to 5 minute, the 3 to 6 minute, those ones are going to have a good chance of ranking over here, but still put them up there. There's some really good value, really good content, really good authority building once people bounce around in here. What other type of content are you doing that you're finding is working well? Including if it's on Facebook?
Engagement content, anything that, makes somebody asks a question where people have to engage or think about themselves. I mean, people are self-absorbed, really. They want to talk about themselves. I love talking about myself. I love talking about what I'm doing. I get excited about it. And I know that other people are the same way, because that's when you can find your passion and get to talk about it with somebody is exciting. So I think you call it phishing questions or something like that. I don't know if maybe that's the same thing.
Yeah,
But
I call it Facebook phishing posts. You're tossing stuff out there in Facebook fishing for comments and engagement. Yeah.
yeah. So so we try to create engaging things. We do on Monday. It's called Putting the Real Back in Real Estate, and it's hard topics or easy topics. The last one I think at the top that you saw was about body image issues. We've done one on dream crushers and people who feel that they have the right to comment on your dreams, even though they might not be doing it, and why they do it. That one right there is the dream crusher one. So that comes out on Monday, and we like to hear from people. We've talked about social media and children, and I brought my daughter and one of her friends on to talk about when do they think it should be appropriate for them to use social media, which at this time they have TikTok because it is allowing them to create things that are creative and fun, but it's a private account. Other than that, I don't want her on it. So we just kind of talk about like real things and want to hear from people. We want to hear people's opinions and thoughts on it.
This is so good, Shemeika, because I think there's a lot of people listening to this right now that had one picture of marketing because they read it on a blog post. They heard it from a coach of theirs that said, you got to pick up the phone and dial, 50 calls a day. You got to send out the same postcard. You've got to go out there to open houses, and not saying that those don't work. I think what people have to do is they have to sit back and go, why did I get into business, and what type of business do I want to build? Like, how do I want that business to serve me, not just me serve it? And then step backwards and go, what type of marketing will then fuel that? Because I want people to remember this, that the type of marketing you do will influence the type of business you create. And so if the type of marketing you're doing is impersonal, if the type of marketing you're doing is interruption marketing, where you're calling people and you're having to sell them to want to even talk with you, if the type of marketing that you're doing is generic and not building you up as, hey, this is a unique person with a unique skill set and authority, then what's going to happen is you're going to have to work harder to close those. You're going to have to work harder to convince them of doing business with you. And also you're likely going to be running an uphill climb there because you're not going to be doing the work you enjoy. But if you flip it to doing content like Shemeika has talked about, and that's what we do, and we work with so many of our clients to do that. If you do it in the right way, whatever way resonates with you, like what Shemeika is doing here, that resonates with her. I did an interview with the guy yesterday, one of our customers. They absolutely crush it. They're an agent and investor. They bring in probably 400 seller leads a month, all organically, crushing it. They're in multiple states. But their form of content is he's an attorney. He left being an attorney and started being an investor. He absolutely loves sitting down and writing articles. That's his jam. Like, he gets energy from it. I don't, I don't. So you guys have to find what type of content, what topics light you up, and go out there and add value to people. I love this. What do you? Oh, go for it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was going to say on Thursdays, it's our broker tour day. So we get to drive around the county and look at all the new listings that people have put on the market. And so Thursdays we dedicate to deal of the day, where we find a property that we think has a tremendous value for what it is. And we do deal of the day on Thursdays. And that also helps promote another person's listing, but also I think it does like a little bit, like I'm in real estate, I sell houses. That's truly what I do, but brings it back to that.
I love it. This is good. So let me recap a couple things here really quick. So what are you doing on the Facebook ads? You did mention that you are getting a lot of referrals now because momentum's picking up with that. You've got the Carrot site, but we're still working to get some momentum with some of the organic and things like that. I know that you, at least I remember, do I remember correctly that you have closed at least one deal from like a home value thing, or is that something else I can't remember.
I have not yet closed a deal from a home value, but I am nurturing those leads. I think we have had about 15 total and delivered our marketing presentation to their doorstep, and then, continued to market them.
Cool. So where are you getting the rest of your leads? You've got a big hunk of the referral now, and then you're doing your local group and just all the stuff you're doing out in the town. Are you doing any Facebook ads? Is that something that's turning into results for you?
Yes, Facebook ads we do. So right now we will always advertise listings that we have because we think that's a huge benefit and value to our sellers. But right now we also have the like a buyer's guide running that takes them to our our downloadable PDF on the website that talks about the buyer's guide and things to consider when buying a home. And we've gotten a couple leads that we're working with buyers on now, but we have not yet closed them. But like we also have low inventory. I imagine it's going to pick up here soon with the new year and stuff.
Cool.
And then I try to have, and then I have the listing lead one, which is, are you curious about what your home is worth? Are you sitting on equity? Are you wanting to move up? Are you wanting to move down? Which brings them to the landing page, and then we get to deliver them a beautiful marketing presentation.
Cool. Well, Shemeika, let's wrap this puppy in a bow. So I so appreciate you sharing your story, and it excites me when someone's excited about their business again. Because I know I've been in that spot where it didn't excite me, and almost every time what pulls me out of it is really pulling back and going, how do I remove my focus on the business from just being the mechanical, how to grow a business and how to get leads coming in and close deals, and how do I make it to where I add my energy into the business and I get energy from the business and I have fun doing it.
Yep.
And it sounds like you've done that. So what's your plan moving into 2020? Do you have any new goals for 2020? What are you planning on doing this year that you didn't do last year that you're wanting to double down on?
So what is the term? Master, implement, repeat. So we're going to keep doing all of the stuff that we're doing on social media, which we're loving. And then I'm loving the idea of evergreen content and building authority. So we actually just recorded, and I was going to ask you about this. We just recorded our first like technically niche video that promotes the west side of Santa Cruz, which is again where I live and love, and would love to do more business here. And I think my videographer said it's like 11 minutes long.
Yeah, cool.
Just so much. Is that fine?
Yeah, it's totally fine. Have you seen some of my content, Shemeika? Like
there's some that are like an hour and 45 minutes.
I know. I'm known around the office of like anytime I say I'll probably be able to get that done in like 5 minutes. It's a 10-minute video, or I'm always optimistic. I count it as optimism is what I think. It's optimistic. Yeah. 10 minutes is just
yours has been like the examples have been between 5 and 8 minutes, and I'm like, oh, it's 11 minutes, and I could actually just keep going and going, but I was like, okay, let's cut it and we'll go.
No, it's good. So I'll quickly do some math here for you. So whenever we're trying to go after a really, really competitive phrase in Google, and actually the written article guy that is going to be that one's going to be coming out in February. He shows his process, and I'll kind of break it down for you real quick. So he uses 3 types of content when he's looking at going out and getting something ranked. And he's not a video guy much, but he has done some video posts. So the first type of content that he tends to do is he takes our automated articles, and then he'll go in there and because they are automated. And if there's other people in Santa Cruz that you guys are going to have the same article, which they're still really high value, even if people are just clicking around your site because they see content, but they're not going to get ranked really great unless there's some modification. So he'll go in there, and rather than spending an hour or two researching and writing an article, then he'll spend 15 minutes tweaking those ones. He'll write a little bit at the front, a little bit at the back, throw an image in there, save it, and done. And he'll start to get a lot of those ranking really, really well. So that's something, 15 minutes versus multiple hours. He uses the automated articles. Next thing that he does is on the really competitive phrases he's going after, because those other ones they're not going to rank number one for like your most competitive phrases in your market. But for your longer tail keywords, which is what we write for, they're going to have a good chance there. The really competitive ones, he's going to go look at what the number one, number 2 ranked websites are for that phrase he's wanting to rank for, pull it up. And this is what I do too, is if it's really competitive, I just like copy and paste, copy all the words, paste it into a Word doc and see how many words are on that page. And if I want to beat that one, I probably need to make it longer.
Okay.
And then I'll just make it longer and better.
So longer, better content is okay. Not like 5 to 8 minutes is like on the cusp of like the lower end of what you want to do.
You're good. You're good for sure. And so doing that math there, let's just say that it was a 10-minute video and you're speaking 140 words a minute or whatever. Average is 120, 160 words a minute. So 140. Then I just clicked off the calendar. Where'd it go? The calculator. So that's 1,400 words, which is really good. I mean,
Okay.
that's about what I would target for a more competitive phrase, as long as you're using the words that
Oh,
someone might be typing in
I was
the
using
article.
them so much. I was reading it. I was reading over it with my husband, and he's like, "That sounds so weird." I'm like, "I know, it's for search engine optimization. You have to say it a lot. West Santa Cruz, west side of Santa Cruz, West Santa Cruz."
Yeah. Well, I think that's great. So that's 1,400 words. That's great.
Yeah.
The only reason I usually say 3 to 5 minutes
Hmm.
is because, number one, a lot of people think a 10-minute video is daunting. So 3 to 5 minutes seems easier. But
Hmm.
also, number two, for readability, when
Hmm.
you transcribe a 10-minute, 1,400 word thing,
That's a lot.
unless someone goes in there and spends 10 minutes putting some headings in there and, breaking it up a little bit,
Yeah.
it's going to be very unreadable is the
Yeah.
main thing. But Google's going to love it. But when
Yeah.
someone lands there, hopefully they just watch your video
Right.
and buzz through the transcription and see the CTAs. So
Right. Well, I
totally do
have
that.
my assistant fixing it up and adding outbound links and stuff like that as
That's
well. So,
perfect. And make
yeah.
your videos 20 minutes then. I don't care.
All right. Yeah. So evergreen marketing, I want to attract more like-minded people, and I'm just excited to keep everything going. We're also, I have not ever gone after expired listings in the past, but right now our average days on market is hovering around like 52, and my personal is 10 and a half. So
Whoa.
I don't feel like I'm soliciting expired listings anymore. I feel like I'm offering them a value and a service. And
Mm.
so we are creating a really non-abrasive, non-intrusive way of doing that, which is, again, hand delivering a marketing presentation for them to review and look at. And if they're interested, they can call us. If they're not interested, no harm, no foul.
Is that stat, are you highlighting that stat pretty high in your marketing? You're
I
like,
just started to.
perfect. 'Cause
Can
that's
you
going
put
to be
that on my
big.
website?
I didn't see it on there.
I'm going
That's
to tell
something.
Lisa. I'm going to message Lisa. I have an email going back
Yeah.
with her to change some stuff.
That'd be a really good one to put there at the top, close to the hero section or just below the hero section or something like that.
Well, yeah, because I also wanted to put, so I just got my numbers for the year, and countywide, I'm number 20. And for individual agents, I was number 8 for 2019.
What?
So that's pretty
Congrats.
amazing too. Yeah. So I kind of want to highlight that also.
I love it.
So, yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, we're
Thank you.
having fun.
Do you have any carrot swag yet?
No. Oh, you know
What?
what? Oh my gosh. Actually, Trevor. Oh my God. I'm so glad you said that. I do. I have a painting that you sent me, but I also have like something like that looks similar to that, but I think it talks
Yep.
about dreams or something. It's in my office and I'm at home right now. But the thing that I meant to say, and thank you, the Go Giver book that you sent after my concierge was completed. I read that. I devoured it. I posted about it and I said, if anybody wants to read this book, let me know. And one of my friends said yes, and I bought her copy and sent it to her. That has been the hugest
Mm.
inspiration. I don't know why everybody doesn't read that and live their life like
Oh
that.
my gosh.
That
I,
is like the best book.
I'm so glad you said that, because if I were to pick required reading for like all high school students, all college, all adults, everybody, Go Giver's on the short list for sure. There's a few others, but that's one of the things that we do for our concierge clients, send you guys some cool special stuff. And the
Yes.
Go Giver book's one of my faves. I actually had Bob Berg, the co-author of that book. He was on the podcast, on the Carrot Cast, about a year ago.
I'll have to pull that
So go
up.
check that out. Go check that
Yeah.
one out for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Shemeika, I appreciate the time with you big time. So happy to have you as a Carrot client, and excited to see what you do this next year. Once you get that longer video post uploaded, let me know, and be
Okay.
happy to pop in there and give any advice, feedback on optimizing it.
Awesome.
And it'll be fun as you start to leverage video posts more and more, and you're already using our featured property listing tool to kind of highlight your featured properties even better. But as you use video posts more and more, and get consistent with putting them out, some of them are going to hit, some of them aren't.
Yeah.
And as you do it, as long as they're being optimized well, which we can help guide you on that,
Okay.
you're going to start to see some of them hit more and more. And
Okay.
one of the videos, one of the articles that the House Heroes guy, the guy that I was talking about earlier, had done that third type of content. He's just starting to do video posts, and it's ranked number 1 in Google nationally for something. He did go doctor it up. It was a 15-minute video that he transcribed, and then he broke up that 15-minute video just for visuals into 3 5-minute videos on the screen. But it was 15 minutes worth of text that he had broken up into all kinds of good headings. So he said, he's like, man, it was a really competitive phrase. I knew it was going to take me a lot of content to get ranked for it, but I didn't want to write that one. And so he recorded a video, but then just spent 30 minutes, an hour, maybe max, making the page look better. Number one in Google, gets 5 to 7 seller leads a month just for that. And he's getting it. So let us know. We'll help you get that thing optimized.
I do also, and I can check in with Lisa, but the ranking tool, I have like some random words there, and I think I should fine tune that a little bit so that I can actually see the appropriate ranking for the appropriate key phrases, so that I know what I'm watching and I can gauge it.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I love it. So I'll make some notes there, and you might reach out to Lisa on that, and I'll pop in and look at it sometime next week for you too.
Awesome.
So, awesome. Shemeika, thank you very much. Appreciate the heck out of you guys. Go check out Shemeika on Facebook and go find her on her website as well, which is yoursantacruzrealestate.com. And Shemeika, any parting words for the Carrot Cast audience?
Find your authentic self and just go for it. And don't be afraid to be creative and be different. And you live your life the way that you want to, truly, and out of your heart, with your heart.
I love it. I love it. Shemeika, thank you very much. Guys and gals, make sure you're subscribed to the Carrot Cast to be getting interviews like this and Trevor Truck Talks, things like this all the time, so you can hear inspiration from other great people like Shemeika and other amazing Carrot members. And guys, if you love this episode, leave us a rating and review on iTunes or whatever it's called now, Apple Podcasts, and let us know some feedback. How can we make these better? And go follow Shemeika online. So thanks, Shemeika. You guys have an amazing rest of the week. Talk soon.
Thank you.